All right, guys, thank you for joining me once again for the double header. I don't know if I'm getting too old for this shit. Like the double headers now, I'm just like, ah. Once I get to here, doesn't matter what subject I'm talking about. Once I get to the second one, I'm just like, ugh. Hold on. There it is. All right. All right, Patrice, thank you for the 5x5. Finley, Paul, Honesta, Joe, Adriana, Jordan, WTC, Annie, Patrice, Amanda, Flowngrown, thank you for the 5x5. Caroline, thank you for the 223 by 223. Buy the book. Amy, thank you for the 5x5. Prep to Adapt. Sarita, thank you for the 5x5. L, thank you for the 5 by Rosie O'Donnell. Butch Pig, 20 War Child, Funny, Vision, Funny again. Thank you for the 5x5. Reaching Cold, thank you for the 4x4. Whoever that is with the 5x5, meme, or whatever it is, thank you. Sean, Irene, Tracy, Patty, KY Widow, thank you for the 5x5. William, thank you for the 5x5. Again, Funny, thank you for the 5x5. Leonard, thank you for the 7.5 by 55. Jesus Christ. 0.300 blackout by 0.300 blackout. Don't know what that is, but thank you, Christian Truth. Fear the Honey Badger. Sunshine, CJ, William, thank you for the 5x5. Horses, thank you for the 0.177 by 0.17. What the hell is that? What are you guys giving me measurements for some shit? Or am I talking code on here now? Daryl, thank you for the 10.5 by 10.5. Kaya, thank you for the 5.62 by 39. And that should be it. Christian, thank you for the 5x5. Lisa, thank you for the WW11. What is that? Guys giving me codes on here. And Red, thank you for the 5x5. All right, let's get on with this bullshit, guys. Okay. So, if you know a YouTuber, have them look this up. Or have them watch this. Whichever you choose. Paladine said 2 plus 2 plus 2 times 2 plus 2 plus 1. Very good. Deanna, thank you for the 5x5. Salty, thank you for the 5x5. Dan Phillips, thank you for the 36 by 24 by 36. Is that the measurements of a chick? 36, 24, 36. Is that? No, maybe not. But anyway, so this is, guys, a huge game changer for YouTube creators, IG creators, and Facebook creators. Any content creator, this is huge. This is going to also set the stage for possible lawsuits in the future. So let me get through this before I address anything in the comment section or the chat. The U.S. Supreme Court, guys, could soon squash big tech censorship. This is from the Post, an opinion article from the Post. Never before in U.S. history have Americans been less free to see and say what they want. The blame goes mostly to the social media giants like Facebook, YouTube, and Google. YouTube's not a social media page, actually. It's they're like a broadcast, internet broadcast or something like that. Anyway, and Google that censor political views they don't like. But the tech giants' day of reckoning is near, as Justice Clarence Thomas is taking them on. Phone companies like AT&T and Sprint can't shut down your account because of your political views. American Airlines can't refuse to sell you a ticket because you question climate change or COVID lockdowns. Hotels can't deny you accommodations because you're a Republican. The laws forbid this, right? Now, that same ban against political discrimination should apply to social media platforms, and that's what Clarence Thomas thinks as well. He is going to make sure that he's going to pass a law which is actually stemming from two cases, one in Texas and I think one in Arizona on social media censorship. Texas and Arizona were taking on big tech as well. This sat in front of Clarence Thomas, and now he's going to make a decision on both these cases, which is hopefully going to um, be in our favor. Now, if this goes through, this can absolutely open up lawsuits for a lot of places, a lot of channels who were wrongfully terminated because of bullshit. So I could see YouTube lighting their own house on fire and fucking a lot of shit up before they allow this to happen, because this is going to cost them a lot of revenue. Now, a lot of companies who want to advertise don't advertise or stop advertising on YouTube, or started to not advertise on YouTube, sorry, because they didn't want their commercials or ads associated with certain videos. So that's why YouTube dropped their hammer on their policy bullshit with, no cursing, no this, no that. I got a video demonetized because it was profanity in the thumbnail, and there was no profanity in the thumbnail. So I'm going to make bones about that, but it also might have been too much cursing. Now, you're allowed to curse in your videos, but according to YouTube, there's a limit on how much you can curse. This is going to change that. So if I wanted to, for 3 minutes straight, say fuck, 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 for 3 minutes straight, I can, and YouTube can't do shit about it. This looks like it's going to happen before the end of this year. So this is a good thing. Anyway, I'm going to finish reading the article for you guys. Thomas has argued against big tech censorship since at least 2021, saying these companies should have served all customers, just like phone companies, utility companies, and public accommodations. The U.S. Supreme Court announced last Friday, it will rule on, not Arizona, guys, Florida and Texas state laws that prohibit tech giants from canceling users based on their political views. And I hope that also goes into the medical realm as well, because a lot of people were talking about the arm ticket and were right, and they got their channels demonetized and or deleted because they were speaking the truth. So hopefully this favors that as well. Expect Thomas to lead a majority of the justices to conclude that internet censorship is inconsistent with democracy and must be stopped. The High Court ruling, or a High Court ruling against censorship, will deal with the powerful blow against big tech tyranny. Right now, social media platforms freely censor, taking down posts, deplatforming users whose views are not like theirs, even a former president of the United States, Trump, and burying information so it's impossible to find with Google. What you call it does that now too. DuckDuckGo. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them anymore either. Big tech censorship, guys, affects more people than when colleges silence dissidents, and even when workplace and schools indoctrinate. Texas anti-censorship law is designed to protect the public against the loss of freedoms. The law still allows removal of items that are pornographic, threats of violence, or promote the sexual exploitation of children, which is truly harmful. Porn, I don't think is harmful, though I do see the reason why it shouldn't be on YouTube and shit like that. But the threat of violence and promoting sexual exploitation of children, I do agree with. To defend Texas law, the state attorney general specifically cited the Thomas argument. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeal upheld the law, deciding the corporations do not have the right to muzzle free speech. This can also work in my favor with the fire department, because I have been smacked on the wrist a couple of times for speaking my mind on social media. So with city agency jobs, if you speak out too much and they don't like it, they can smack your wrist and take days' pay and all this other bullshit from you. This can absolutely help me, because then they can't touch me. So there is that. Anyway, but the 11th Circuit struck down a similar Florida law, arguing that big tech platforms have a First Amendment right to pick and choose views like a newspaper does. Newspapers don't have that right. They get to pick and choose the articles that are read or going to be seen. They're not supposed to minimize the information in favor of whoever is reporting it. They're supposed to blanketly report whatever it is and let the person reading it come up with their own ideology. But of course, that is not so. All right, so now the Supreme Court is poised to resolve those conflicts' outcomes. The court will decide who the First Amendment protects: the tech companies that claim they're like newspapers, or the millions of social media users. The smart money is on Thomas convincing a majority of the justice that democracy requires an uncensored internet. Rightfully so. In 2021, concurring opinion, Thomas suggested a role for Congress to provide a legislative fix, including changing Section 203 of the Communication Decency Act. Decedent Act, sorry, not decency. Decedent Act, or Decency, sorry, Decency Act. Communication Decency Act. Now, the Section 203 is more internet based than it is anything, and it's giving these social media giants the power to do what they want with people they don't like. For the most part, there's a lot more to it, but I didn't get to read the whole thing. So, but Congress is unlikely to act as long as Democrats control either house. Most Democrats in Congress are rooting for more censorship. Therein lies the problem. I talked about this before, how the Democrats want more censorship and want less freedom of speech. The Democratic Party and the Democrats in Congress want more censorship over what's said and what is seen. More about what is seen than what is said. They become the first anti-free speech party. Chris Coons, Democrat out of Delaware, told tech executives during the 2020 Senate hearing that he wants them to censor climate denialism. So for anybody who's obviously declining climate change, he wants them to censor us, if you will. Senator Richard Blumenthal, Democrat out of Connecticut, urged them to do more content modification and eliminate disinformation in future elections. Content modification is a euphemism for silencing the opposition. Content modification. And that's what Democrats want. They want more content modification. They want less free speech. Because, listen, flat earthers, as fucking stupid as they are, they still should be able to express their stupidity. So we can tell who those stupid people are. I don't agree with censoring them. They are on here every now and again. I don't want them kicked off, right? But sometimes knowing who stupid people are is better than not. When you talk to certain people and they start talking about flat earth, you're like, he's a moron, let's move right along, right? And anytime someone talks about flat earth, I usually end the conversation right then and there. Anyway, guy, in short, rigging the elections. Disinformation, do not be fooled by that word. And I told you guys about that before. Disinformation and misinformation is a trap word, if you will. Sort of like, what is that called? Gun responsibility, right? Or gun ownership responsibility. And what's the other one? Common sense gun laws. Those are trap words. Those are words that will get you trapped because they get people to go, well, I want common sense gun laws. And then idiot gun owners are like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a fucking trap, man. Don't fall for those words. Because as soon as you start hearing that, they're setting you up for a trap. Content modification, disinformation, misinformation, gun responsibility, gun ownership responsibility, common sense gun laws. trap words. Don't fall for them. Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes explained that the way to test the truth of any statement is to see if it survives in the marketplace of ideas. Truth will always prevail. Lousy ideals, falsehood, and loser politicians like Joe Biden need censorship to survive. They do. Because you saw what happened to him the other day. The guy froze on stage and they made some bullshit excuse as to why that happened. Sorry, at the Supreme Court, Biden's Department of Justice is siding with big tech against public right to free speech or free expression, rather. Sorry, where that's no surprise. Biden likely owes his 2020 election to big tech rush to squash the New York Post Hunter Biden laptop story. Since taking office, Biden has erected a vast censorship operation within the White House, FBI, CDC, and other government agencies colluding with big tech companies to limit what you see and hear. So, bravo that Elon Musk company X refuses. The next move belongs to the court, which will hear this argument orally in 2024, early 2024. Now, what does this mean, guys? If this thing comes to fruition, if Clarence Thomas sides that free speech comes first, YouTubers, again, who lost their channel, whose videos are demonetized, it can open it up to lawsuits. Unless he puts that in there, this can absolutely open up lawsuits. Now, for those of you that recorded your videos and you kept your videos on a drive, like this, right? I put all my videos on the drive, and once I'm done with the drive, I get a new one. I must have 7 of these things laying around with videos on it. So any video that was demonetized, I can pull off of one of these, send it to YouTube. I want to get paid for that video, and pay me for the average views I would have gotten for this video. And that's how you go about your lawsuits. Make sure you have all your shit backed up, guys, because this could be something big, and there could be a lot of money coming back to a lot of people who were demonetized and lost channels. I think this is something we should all pay attention to. This is something that we should definitely follow come next year. I'm going to be following this like a hawk. I'm going to be all over this shit. If I can go down to D.C. and listen to this hearing, I'm going to be fucking in the courtroom listening to this shit. Because this, guys, this is a kick in the teeth to those big tech companies that didn't want to hear the truth, only wanted to hear themselves in the lie. They got rid of so many channels because they didn't like the truth. Now, granted, there might have been some channels that were lying, whoever they are. I don't know who they are. But when there were channels talking about the arm ticket and what the arm ticket was going to do, a lot of those channels got kicked off. What kind of stereo does Jason have? This is not the 90s, man. Who has stereos anymore? I don't have a stereo. I have a Bluetooth speaker, but I don't have a stereo. But, yeah, guys. Definitely contact YouTubers you knew who got kicked off or lost their channels or all their videos were demonetized, like Russell Brand, right? Follow that shit, man. ABG Prepping, you should have got your channel back. Based on what you told me, and I did some, like, not deep diving, but I was tooling around and questioning other people and shit. Based on how you lost your channel, you should have got your channel back. But they gave you some bullshit. So you can definitely get your channel back. Well, not that you can get your channel back, but hopefully you can get monetary compensation. Because your channel's gone. Once they delete it, it's gone forever. It's not like in a holding cell or a backup file somewhere. They delete those to make room for more. So he goes, I gotta stare at you, son of a bitch. Who still has a beeper? Because I don't. You know what? I have a beeper, but it doesn't work. It's a fucking brick, you know? Joel, I don't have a stereo because I'm not a 14-year-old kid. The last time I had a stereo system is when I used to DJ. And yes, I was a DJ. Technique 1200s, a bunch of fucking records, man. And I wasn't scratching it up like you see in the fucking movie Juice. You're like, no, I didn't do any of that bullshit. I fucking blend, mix music, made people dance. That's what you're supposed to do as a DJ. You're not supposed to scratch up the song or like, what was his name? Fat Man Scoop or what was the other one? Kid Capri. And the other asshole was always yelling into the fucking mic. The song would get all good and shit, and they were like, yeah, man, what's going on? 93.3. You're like, you motherfucker, shut up. We don't need to hear your woo through in the middle of the fucking, the tape. Though I was so aggravating with those guys. Anyway, but yeah, I haven't had a fucking stereo. I have a Bluetooth stereo, a Bluetooth speaker. You can consider that a stereo, I used to do a lot of shit, man. Yeah, I used to fucking DJ. I still have one Technique turntable. I don't have anything else, just the one Technique turntable. I'm trying to pick up another one because I have a bunch of records. I have a fucking shit ton of records, man. And I want to transfer them over into digital, a lot of those records, because I can't find a lot of those songs anymore. Scarlett, yes, misinformation is why they are canceling them. But that's the thing. They're canceling people. You probably said that 10 minutes ago. They're canceling people based off of what they think is information. And that's the thing. Whenever you get demonetized or you get a strike, they tell you in the letter, the email that they send you, they tell you, we believe that your information was wrong. Not that it was wrong, not that it was factually wrong. We believe. So we believe is an opinion. So people's YouTube channels and videos were deleted because their opinion, because they believe that you were wrong or you were spreading false information. On an opinion, they got rid of people's channels. So unless they go on a fucking rampage right now and start deleting channels left and right, they are fucking screwed if Justice Thomas comes through. Screwed. Because people are going to light YouTube up and Google up with lawsuits left and right. Light them up. It's going to probably be to a point where it might bankrupt YouTube and Google, which I will happily sacrifice this channel and all 5 of my channels, four of my channels. I will sacrifice all 4 of my channel just to put these motherfuckers in a bankruptcy. Absolutely. And I don't think it would go into bankruptcy. Someone would just buy them out. But I would absolutely sacrifice as long as that was to happen. As long as people were to get their fucking money back, fuck them. Fuck them in the ass. It'd be so worth it. Because enough already in their bullshit. Again, getting people's channels deleted and money taken out of their pocket. People were making a living off of this shit, and you destroyed their fucking well-being and their living because of an opinion you had, or an opinion you didn't like they had. Bullshit. Paul F. If Trump becomes Speaker of the House, all hell's going to break loose. I'm going to tell you that right now. Trump should not be Speaker of the House. Trump can't speak on his own. I mean, listen, he's way better than Biden, but Trump is not Speaker of the House material. He just isn't. And you can't be that locked into Trump or zoned into Trump where you think he would make a great fucking Speaker of the House. Because he is not. The motherfucker is way too volatile for that. He is too temperamental. You got to be cool, calm, and collect to be the Speaker of the House. And he can't be the Speaker of the House. I would wholeheartedly disagree with him becoming the Speaker of the House. I'm sorry. That guy is not worthy of that position. Jeff, yeah, absolutely. Someone said you can't bankrupt the... Well, yeah, you could. There are ways around it. Yeah, he would be too divisive. You know what? I don't know if he would be divisive, but he just doesn't know how to talk. He just doesn't know how to talk, man. He's just too, just too mouthy. He's like Mr. Word Salad, Just too much shit comes out of his mouth. It ain't worth it. It isn't worth it. And one side of me wants him to go for Speaker of the House just so that the liberals can fucking break out in a pandemonium. But another side of me is like, That's the country right there. I mean, it's the president of the United States, then the Speaker of the House. Forget the vice president. Vice president's a fucking, is a show pony at best. And you can't have the Speaker of the House be Trump. You just can't. That would be like letting, what's her name? AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That would be like letting her be Speaker of the House. No fucking way. That bitch is too stupid. She's a fucking, she's the dullest tool in the fucking shed. She's a moron as the day is long. The only thing she has going for her is that she's hot. That's it. She doesn't bring up a valid point at all. And if they would have we should make her Speaker of the House, I'd be like, you fucking kidding me? That's a hard no. That's a good point. Chua says he would be able to impeach Biden and stop money flowing to Ukraine. That is another way of looking at it. But the other way of looking at it is no. No. He shouldn't go there. He should not become Speaker of the House. I'm sorry. The guy, he just doesn't have it. But listen, man, hopefully this thing comes to fruition, and hopefully this thing bites big tech in the ass. I hope it does. I hope it bites them so hard in the dick they're pissing out of their asses. Because they destroyed a lot of lives with this shit. City Prepper said she's not hot. City Prepper, go get your glasses and go look up pictures of her. She's fucking hot. And every picture they have of her, she's always yelling or her mouth open or some crazy shit. When you look at her, when she's like being a civilized person, she's pretty hot. But anyway, yeah, man, this could, if lawsuits happen and lawsuits are won, this could tank YouTube. This could make it hard for YouTube to fucking to survive. YouTube or Google rather would have to fucking be bought out by somebody. They would have to be bought out by a conglomerate. They wouldn't be bought out by one person alone. They would have to be bought out by a conglomerate of businesses or companies to survive. Dan Rose, what would be my choice of Speaker of the House? I don't know right now. I really don't know. It has to be somebody who's level-headed and stands in the middle. I think the Speaker of the House should always be somebody in the middle. It shouldn't be a fucking Republican. It shouldn't be a hard-leaning Democrat or a hard-leaning Republican. It should be somebody in the House that stands in the middle that can get both done. If you have somebody who's in the middle, whether they're a middle Democrat or a middle Republican, that would be good. That would be a good choice. But somebody who's too far right and too far left, absolutely not, man. That should not be a Speaker of the House. Little Sosa is nasty looking. You guys need to put your glasses on. But whatever. Jim Jordan. Somebody said Jordan. I guess, right? Yes, and guys, do me the favor, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. If I said Nancy Pelosi was hot, yes. Then you guys would be like, you're fucking crazy. She's ugly. AOC is, like, for a politician, she's hot. Like, if you took AOC and you put her on Fordham Road or in Harlem somewhere, yes, she would be the average looking chick. But for a politician, she is hot. For a woman, she's average. You put her like Jennifer Lopez. People are like, Jennifer Lopez so hot. Jennifer Lopez this, that, and third. Jennifer Lopez, the average looking chick from the Bronx. She isn't fucking super hot. She's got that money that makes her look hot. When fucking money is coming, dollar bills are coming down on her shit, you're like, that's a hot bitch right there. Look at those hundreds. But she's an average looking chick. But AOC, when you're standing next to the other female politicians, she's hot. My mother's probably, I don't think she's pretty either. You guys got to go get your eyes checked. ASAP. Anyway, I think I hit my limit with you guys. I'm fucking tired. I'm going to bed. Fuck this shit. I'm going to go drink tea, watch some Golden Girls, and then read a good book, and perhaps schedule bingo tomorrow day sometime, probably before dinner time, around 4, 3 o'clock. And then that's going to be my old people weekend. That's what I'm going to fucking do. Anyway, with that being said, guys, I will see a lot of you guys next week. I'm going to try to do a walkabout sometime next week so I can show you guys the Sgratiad that's here in fucking New York City. And other than that, yeah, man. See you guys tomorrow, some shit, or next week sometime. Later, y'all.